Все. Я говорю, нахуй тоже надо.
На всякий случай.
So that was an audio exchange recording reported by several media outlets of a Ukrainian guardsman stationed with 12 of his fellow officers on an island west of Crimea using some choice words to a Russian soldier who was demanding he and his fellow guardsmen surrender. Not caught on tape, the Russian troops opening fire, killing 13 Ukrainian soldiers. That's according to Ukrainian authorities, and we cannot independently confirm. Joining us now to discuss is U.S. Navy SEAL, author of the book The Operator, Firing the Shots That Killed bin Laden, Robert J. O'Neill. Rob, welcome back to the program. Again, just from that clip and the information that's coming in, it is tough to confirm all details here. But what we gather is the Ukrainian military is determined. As we know, some have enlisted in a civilian force as recent as yesterday. How realistic is it that their forces would be able to take on Russian troops?
Thank you for having me. Good morning. Part of the problem right now is it's being romanticized across social media and, very, very quick access to news that they're handing out weapons and civilians want to fight the Russians invading. And you have to admire it. And I mean, I can't even empathize with it because I've never been in a situation where we're being invaded. I would think I would like to defend my homeland. I hope they do too. But just because you get a Kalashnikov doesn't mean you can fight professional soldiers with everything from we've seen artillery, airstrikes, tanks. Even we have given them weapons. So it's almost unrelatable. We haven't seen a war like this ever. The closest we've seen in our lifetimes is when Saddam Hussein had his Iraqi forces invade Kuwait. Other than that, it was in Europe in the 1930s. So they are going to defend themselves. And I think that Vladimir Putin's actually bitten off more than he could chew. But I personally didn't see it going this way. I didn't think that they would want to try to advance on Kiev, which are proving they want to do. But we are seeing the Ukrainians. These are border guards on a kind of a desolate island, realizing we're not going to surrender to Russia. We're going to fight or do what we can to not surrender. So this is a very, very spooky time that we're living in.
Yeah, Zelensky also making it clear he's determined to fight back against this invasion that's happening in his country. When we watch what's happening on the world stage here, the U.S. has responded with sanctions. Rob, your analysis of that threat towards Vladimir Putin, what we saw yesterday?
Well, it's going to hurt him, but we're still sort of not in agreement whether or not to affect his oil. Right now, it should be proven that we need to have energy independence. Germany doesn't want to get involved because most of their oil comes from Russia, which, President Trump told them not to do it, and they were kind of laughed at. The Keystone Pipeline right here, although a lot of the oil wouldn't have been for us, it would have been for our allies. And depending on Russia for their oil is putting everyone in kind of a figure-four leg lock. Yeah, the sanctions can hurt, but we got to be willing to go all the way. We can't mess around with them. And we got to start being realistic about everything from what our military does. Instead of being full of social experimentation, we need to learn how to have alliance solidarity at least. And even since August, with the horrible withdrawal from Afghanistan, we've shown our allies that they can't necessarily trust us, and we can't have that. Especially now, we're not dealing with the Taliban on their home turf. This is Russia invading, and this is very serious. And too many people on both sides of the aisle, even back here in the Beltway, keep saying the word nuclear. If nuclear war happens because of something like this, because tensions rise between a bunch of men that want to prove their legacy, God help us all.
All right. We'll leave on that. Rob O'Neill joining us with his take. Rob, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Very powerful stuff there. Meantime, we're going to take you now to Russia, where Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is laying out an ultimatum for Ukraine amid the Kremlin's advances in the region. Let's go now to our Moscow-based correspondent, Stuart Smith, live for us. Stuart, what is Lavrov's message to Ukraine?
Well, he says that what Russia is doing right now is intended to free the Ukrainian people. He says Russia wants Ukraine to be independent and have the possibility to freely define its destiny. And he gave this line again, that Russia wants to ensure the entire demilitarization of Ukraine, but importantly sees no possibility of recognizing the current government as the people that could lead that. And just now, in the last few minutes, Russian President Vladimir Putin has been talking to his Security Council, and he's used very barbed language to describe the Ukrainian leaders. He says that Russian soldiers are successfully carrying out the task to defend our people and our motherland. He says they will not negotiate with a bunch of drug addicts and neo-Nazis Nazis who have taken the entire Ukrainian people hostage. He called on Ukrainian forces to give up and not let themselves be used by the Kiev government. And he says that there is still room for diplomacy by meeting in Minsk, but it's not clear who Russia would even meet in Minsk, having now denigrated its government.
And again, it comes at a time when we've heard from Zelensky more than 100 Ukrainians, including 10 military officers, had been killed. More than 300 people had been wounded. Stuart Smith live for us in Moscow with the latest. Stuart, thank you very much.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.